Okay, I am going to be going over how to solve equations on your solving equations homework. It's one step, two step, and then it's addition and subtraction first, and then multiplication and division first on your first step. So this is the assignment that you got today in class. You should have your name, day, and period on it. Some of us were given this assignment last Friday, so it might say 9/13, but we didn't necessarily finish it in class, and I didn't want you to take it home for homework. So now we're going to be working on it for homework tonight. It will all be due tomorrow. So one-step equation is where you literally perform the opposite operation. To both sides. Now, I told all of my classes that algebra and solving equations is something that we've been doing since elementary school. We're just finding the missing value. So instead of having an m here, it's some number plus 12 equals 10. And if you think about it mathematically, you're not going to add a positive number to get a smaller number because 12 is bigger than 10, so I have to add a negative number. So that answer would be -2. And here's how that works. You subtract 12 from both sides of your equation, and I like to draw a river through here. And then these 12s over here cancel out, and then this is 10 minus 12, so variable m is equal to -2. 10 minus 12 was -2. There's your answer. So then over here, I'm going to do the same thing. -2 equals something minus 9. That means this number has to start off being smaller than 9 because obviously I'm ending up with a negative result. So I draw my river through the equal sign and then I perform the opposite operation. The opposite of -9 is +9 to both sides. Then these 9's cancel out and you'll have g equals, and this is 9 minus 2. That's your answer here. Then here you're multiplying. This is -7 times y equals -91. You must divide both sides by -7. So divide by -7, divide by -7. These cancel out. Y equals -91 divided by -7. You have to work that out though. This is not the answer, obviously, because I'm not going to provide the answers for you. I'm walking you through the problem solving steps. You have to do the mathematical or the arithmetic part. Over here, this is a divided by 9 equals -4. So the opposite of divided by 9 is multiplication by 9 on both sides. So times 9 and times 9. You cancel out. A equals -4 times 9, and you need an answer for that. Fractions. To get rid of a fraction, you must multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is just the fraction that is flipped. So 5/7 flipped would be 7/5. -1/2 flipped would be -2. Because -2 over 1, you don't need the 1. So right here, you're multiplying both sides by 3/2. You're flipping the 2/3. You're multiplying by 3/2. So these 2's cancel out, this 3 cancels out, and you're left with x equals 10. This 10 is over 1. So it's 10 times 3 over 2 times 1, which is just 2. 10 times 3 is 30 over 2, which equals 15. That's half of 30. So you're going to do the same thing over here. Times 9 over 4. These cancel out. W equals -8 times 9 over 4, 8 over 1. 8 times 9 over 4 times 1, and you need to work that out. What's going on? Okay, don't forget that you have to multiply the negative 8 by 9 and then divide by 4. Over here, I have negative 6/5 times k equals 12. Draw your river. Multiply by negative 6/5, and this really doesn't matter over here because you're just going to cross it out, equals k, and then 12 times negative 6/5, just 12 over 1. I'm sorry, 5/6. Miss Starling messed that up. Should be 5 over 6 and 5. This is also a prime example why you should be writing in pencil, not pen, because when I make a mistake it looks messy. So it should say 12 times negative 5 over 1 times 6, which is just 6, and you need to work that out. Over here, flip it and multiply. Times negative 2 times negative 2. These cancel out. M equals whatever negative 9 times negative 2 is. All right, now they do the two-step equations. In order to solve a two-step equation, you must undo the addition and subtraction to get rid of the constant. And then you undo multiplication, or undo the multiplication and division to get rid of the coefficient. The coefficient is a number that's attached to the variable. So I have 2x minus 5 equals, let's say 11. The negative 5 and the 11, those are constants. They have no variable with them. The 2 is a coefficient. And the x is the variable. Okay? So our problem-solving process for two-step equations is to draw the river, circle the variable and its friend, and then circle the variable, its friend, and the constant. Then you're going to perform opposite operations starting with the outer layer like we're peeling an onion, like I said. So start with the outside, then move on the inside, and then I should have my variable by itself. So first things first, I'm going to perform minus 8 on both sides. So I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides, and then this 6 is related to the x by multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So minus 8 minus 8. These 8's cancel out. 6x equals 50 minus 8, which is 42. Then we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. X equals 42 divided by 6. That answer needs to go here. All right. On this side, circle your variable and its friend, circle variable, its friend, and the constant. Sorry, river. The opposite of minus 5 is plus 5. So I'm going to add 5 on both sides. And then I'm going to divide by 2. So plus 5, plus 5. These 5's cancel out. 2n equals 11 plus 5, which is 16. Then you're going to divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. N equals 16 divided by 2. Put your answer there. Over here, circle, circle, circle. The outer layer is the plus 9, so I'm going to subtract by 9. And then divide by negative 4. On both sides. Over here, circle, circle, circle. This 7 is tricky. This is in my outer layer. It just says 7. Now, you were more than likely going to want to put plus 7 there, but then that would be 7 plus 7, and then that would give me 14. No, I want it to be 0. Like negative 5 plus positive 5 is 0. That's why it cancels out. I cannot cancel that out if I write plus 7 here, so I have to write a subtraction of 7 on both sides, and then I have to divide by negative 3 on both sides. On the other side. So here they change it up. They give us a division problem, and then they have the negative 7. So draw your river. The opposite of minus 7 is add 7, and then this would be x over 2. So plus 7, these 7's cancel out. X over 2 equals 9 plus 7 is 16. That means some number divided by 2 is 16. In order to undo division, I have to multiply both sides by 2, multiply by 2, cancel out. X equals 16 times 2, and the answer goes here. They switched it around for us over here. Circle the variable and its friend, circle the variable and its constant. The opposite of plus 8 is subtract 8. And the opposite of divide by negative 5 is multiply by negative 5. Here, subtract 22 and multiply. They tricked you on this one. What did they say we have to do with fractions? To get rid of it, multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to have to flip this 3/5 and multiply by 5/3. What that looks like is minus 22, minus 22. River, cross out. 28 minus 22 is 6. 3/5 x equals 6. So times 5/3 times 5/3. 6 over 1. These cancel out. X is 6 times 5 over 3. You need to work that out. Over here, I'm going to subtract 1. Then multiply by negative 3. Because if we flip that, it will be negative 3 over 1, and we really don't need that over 1. 17 and 18, you should refer back to these. Then down here, we have to do the multiplication and division first. So when you make your onion, the division by 8 is on the outermost part. So we have to undo that by multiplying by 8. Then add 11, because that's the opposite. So down here, we have to multiply by negative 6. And then add 13, because that's the opposite. So times negative 6 times negative 6. Negative 6 times 1 equals a minus 13, because these 6's cancel out. This is negative 6 equals a minus 13. So I have to add 13 to both sides. These 13's cancel out. A equals negative 6 plus 13. Okay, you should be able to figure out those based on what we wrote in class over here and over here. Have a great evening.